hot. Horrible.
I want to be a vampire. This one is so cool.
Woo!
Oh, no. Thank you to HUEL for sponsoring this video. More on them in just a bit. It's time to do round 2 of this interview, people. We're here for Interview with a Vampire, episode 2 today. Before we go into this, Roxy, how are you?
Yeah, happy and you know what? Clap your hands.
Whoa, we got new, what? I didn't even
Posters.
see these.
Yeah, you're doomed. You're all doomed.
Oh, dang. Oh, whoa. That's not Robert Downey Jr. Are you excited
You
for
don't
this?
know what's under this
It
mask.
could be same task, a different mask. How are you
Yeah, no,
feeling?
I'm stoked. Honestly, I was so excited. I read all the comments from last time. People have been wanting us to do this, and it seems like we did not disappoint. So I'm grateful for you guys for staying on this journey. I also thought that there was a character who was bisexual. They corrected me and said, no, straight up gay. So I heard you guys. Gay, fine by me. Okay.
Yeah, gays. Whoop, whoop.
I used to wear
Guys.
that shirt in high school. Gay, fine by me. Did you have that?
No.
All right, whatever.
I didn't go
Greg?
to high school. My mom did say that about me, though. She would go, gay, fine by me. And I said, thanks, Mom. I'm
are you?
excited. And we're ready to watch Interview with a Vampire. Let's
do
this. Subtitles on. 1, 2, 3, let's go.
See how it's not exactly flipped? And last time you were like,
Yes, I looked it up and I put it in the edit, okay?
so is it?
It's not flipped. No,
Yeah,
they're
yeah,
two
okay.
different timelines and cities.
Yeah.
It put it in the edit. Gosh, Roxy.
So I was right.
You were right. Yes, you were right. Sometimes I research and post.
Genius.
After the phantoms of your former self.
What happened with your former self, Gregory?
Is that Jesus coming out of hell?
It's Venetian, a contemporary of Tintoretto's.
She's excited, and I don't know why.
I'll tell you.
Marius de Romanus. Never heard of him.
Little of his work survives. Mr. de Pointe covets the rare.
Is he a prodigy?
I keep hearing that sound.
Where the building sways a bit, but that is according to its design given the height. We call it the groan.
I love this design.
Did you always work for him?
Darkness
Please have a
of the
seat.
realm.
Sign an NDA? I mean, is it only work or are you and he?
I serve a god. It is my honor to serve.
He's a human who serves.
I serve a god.
Mr. de Pointe
This is a
will
god.
join you at course 7.
But how many courses are there?
Course 7 is
Fattening
so
me up
many.
for the inevitable end?
Is course 7 blood? I'm excited because I didn't realize, like an idiot, that it's Grey Worm. It's Grey Worm.
Oh, that's Grey
It's Grey
Worm.
How crazy is that?
That is nuts.
Aha.
Dinner is served. It's very true bloody.
There he is. You missed at least 3 or 4 endangered species.
Grey Worm himself.
I want to apologize for my outburst earlier.
Memory is a monster. We forget. It doesn't.
Good line.
This is session 2.
shadow.
De Pointe de Lac.
Reflection.
Can we turn down the music?
Oh, it's actually
That's
in the
funny,
room.
yeah.
AB negative, fresh from the farm. Bon appetit.
He probably does need, like, actual humans.
Part of me wants to ask about the farm.
2 vampires walk into a church. That's where we left off.
Blissing out post-priesticide.
Priesticide. The killing of priests.
Pain followed. A seizing and unrelenting pain through which I would pass before my apprenticeship began.
He's letting him just walk.
Confused, your lungs feel like water, your heart fire, you feel as if you're dying. Because you are.
Matter of fact.
As they walk through a cemetery.
Proper disposal is the penance of a sated vampire, and you won't always have a conveniently located graveyard nearby, so.
Is that bad blood?
We live off the blood of the living, lap up the blood of the deceased, and it'll suck you right down into death along with your victim.
Oh, really?
Are we sure that's not just, like, philosophical?
I don't know. It didn't sound philosophical.
Louis.
He sees. He's enlightened.
Trippy.
There's a spark.
Oh my god.
An angel. A god.
It's very childlike.
Well, he's reborn. How beautiful.
Lestat's blood was giggling inside me,
Giggling.
teasing my senses, illuminating
Teasing.
the district with overwhelming detail.
I see what you're doing.
As if I had walked my entire life as a dead man, and now, dead, could finally receive the secrets of existence.
They're just darkness walking through all this light.
Your ears will pick up the world like a maddening symphony.
Oh,
Follow my voice, a single strand. Your eyes will wander, led by your hunger.
Oh, the senses are so heightened.
They were your
Love
brothers
this
and
shot.
sisters once, but now they're your savory inferiors.
Oh my
A
God.
young tempranillo, fleshy and tart.
Comparing them to wine, that's crazy.
A primitivo, hints of iron, rather plain
Tempranillo.
otherwise. A
Yeah,
pair
that's
of
crazy.
oak-aged Cabernet.
Change my mind. I want to be a vampire.
Welcome to the club.
You have the power to subdue anyone you want, but sometimes restraint is your most powerful weapon.
Oh,
That is not restraint.
I admire the aesthetic. But you'll spend most of the evening trying to separate him from his crew. You'll race the sun for the kill, and when he turns up missing in the morning, you'll have half the frigate on the prowl looking for him.
So cool. He's teaching him how to hunt.
It's best to let the food come to you.
A lonely man.
Baby bird in Lestat's nest, not yet ready to hunt,
that's
desperate to feed.
Oh, with a spoon. Tomato soup.
I'm taking my daughter to look at horses, Palomino.
A daughter.
I gotta tell you, I'm doing pretty good for myself.
He's so bored.
She says, Daddy, why is that horse walking so funny? Why is his back all crumpled up like that?
I want more. I
He wants
want.
who he wants, yeah.
He's gotten used all up out of a horse. This is what happens that day.
Nothing but relentless questions at that age.
Hey, you gentlemen down here, now what do you grow? You grow cotton?
Sugar.
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 Careful, Moshe. You're beginning to frighten the man.
Maggie, that's why your daddy sells tractors. International Harvester Farmall.
Oh, now he's got to go.
So I am talking about gas-powered, open-geared.
Oh my God, the blood all over him.
We are here to talk about farm equipment. Am I right?
Oh my God.
Creature Harvest was gonna keep your child from tears. Oh, thank you.
Look at old Ann Blood. There's no hiding now.
Have you ready, Louis?
Like a dog, like sick him.
I knew it.
I knew you.
Ow. Did he just move that quickly?
Yeah.
No, you don't bite the blood. You suck it. Yes. Yes, that's better.
Oh my God, it's legitimately like an animal. Dog.
Lover, child, pet.
For our next cup, but I'm thinking Persian. We certainly need a more efficient way of ridding the waste.
Oh, he feels disgusted with himself. What, like a allegory, like a one-night stand situation.
Gotta go home.
This is your home now, Louis.
I have to go see Grace and Paul.
Oh, dear.
Oh. Do baby vamps have more strength or less?
I wonder if his guard was just down.
You're going to find that very difficult.
Yeah.
Oh no, he's in the sun. Nope, yep. Dude,
Oh my God.
you come on, man.
You're gonna find that very
Basic
difficult.
vampire skill 101.
Yeah, but he doesn't know. He hasn't read the books. Oh. Not the milk.
People say take some milk, cool it down.
Yeah.
The sun gives life to everything but us. I should have told you that.
You should have.
The life of a vampire has its challenges and its rewards. But I think New Orleans, with its music,
No, Leon.
thrill-seeking tourists, far flung from their homes, the laissez-faire attitude of the local police force,
Got like no body fat.
a perfect setting for a vampire home, a vampire romance.
This home is so cool.
Definitely, though, it's gonna be Stockholm syndrome because, like, he can't leave.
I ain't sleeping in there.
We'll get you your own soon enough. You've had a long life,
He had a long life.
and such an extraordinary one ahead. Have a rest.
Where, with
It's
you?
okay. You can be on top.
Oof. Because he's kind of the worst, but, like, absolutely so sexy.
He rushed me headlong through the encounter as if it was something to put behind us.
Oh, gosh.
Death, rebirth, coming out, homicide.
How's sexuality play in that?
It's a complicated question, Daniel, and we shouldn't conflate it with the salesman's death.
Oh,
Humor me.
To satisfy your fixation, being transformed by Lestat, being desired by him, bedding down with him, was an overture.
bedding down. Woo!
The shame of queer theorists everywhere.
I got in that coffin on my own free will, in the quiet dark. We were equals.
Were you?
White master, black student, but equal in the quiet dark.
Are
Fair.
talking about it.
Provocation. Is this the primary tool one walks away with after downloading your internet class?
Ooh. We're getting more of their interaction in this episode, and I like that.
Becoming a true square.
Oh, ooh. Whatever is his is alive. It's alive.
Rabbit or something. Oh, that is sad. Oh, I don't like this.
Back to the salesman for a sec. Clearly you were haunted by it, the taste of his...
Oh, that's so sad.
You contemplate the life of the rabbit before you cut it, or do you simply cut?
Oh, no.
I honestly think he has a point. What's the difference?
Vampires are killers.
I get it. I don't like
Apex
watching
predators whose all-seeing eyes were meant to give them detachment.
Can you live off just animals?
It depends on the vampire story.
The ability to see a human life in its entirety, not with any mawkish sorrow, but with the thrilling satisfaction of being the end.
Don't expect every reader to swallow that one.
Our book must be a warning as much as anything. It was the right line of questioning. I was haunted by the salesman, and as a fledgling vampire, I did not readily take to killing.
It's like an evolution of humanity.
When I first started learning English, I boarded.
Killing folks ain't a second language.
But when I started dreaming in English, that's when I embraced it. I have English consonants to thank for this astonishing jawline.
These are nightmares I'm having to start, not dreams.
It's interesting he calls him Lestat.
You might need a proper doctor, my friend.
My arm's fine. There is something, Mr. Dulac. New gaming house you're fixing on for the alderman. I want to manage it. I'm good with people, and I'm good with numbers.
Maybe?
No, he wants the job so he can steal from you. Overcharge for drinks and women. Not enough for you to notice, but enough to make him good extra. Vampires can read minds, mon cher.
Right. And you gonna sit on that skill for how long? You gonna make me beg?
Oh, the advantages.
One might think the ability to read a mind a most useful gift, but in reality, it's quite mundane, I think.
Yeah, it would be difficult.
Every human thought boils down to three things. I want food, I want to go home.
So this is exploring the primitive nature of humanity.
You see that man right there? I want you to peel away every sound until you find his heartbeat.
Day and a half since my last meal.
I want food.
Blood can't make me no food.
I want food. Shall we?
It's not cheating with a woman. Because I can't get pregnant.
Oh my God.
I'm gonna
Still
ditch
cheating.
this town and be somebody.
That's not.
I'll give it a moment.
Well, I'll just go home.
Voila.
Wait, I saw a little flashes now of his house.
You'll see as your powers grow, you can see their thoughts like a one-reeler almost. Dull, monotonous picture shows. It's a very distracting gift, the petty musings of meat.
I was so apathetic to it all.
What am I thinking right now?
Can he do it to other vampires or no?
You'll have to tell me yourself. A sacrifice is made when the dark gift is shed.
You can't read my mind anymore?
The architects of our creation mean to humble us.
Huh.
We're at the mercy of the other's discretion.
Just like to me.
You're not one of them anymore, fledgling. You chase after phantoms of your former self.
Yeah, it's been like a day, dude.
I'll break
Title
you up.
of the episode.
Love that. That shot had that one pillar separated them from humanity right there. Nostalgia. Visual storytelling.
We'll only be here an hour.
I'll see us late and we'll miss Nora's entrance with the Christmas tree.
You ain't gonna miss anything.
Look what the wind blew in.
The prodigal son returns.
I'm so pissed at her.
I don't remember inviting him, but please take your overdressed self and have a fun time.
As long as I'm not mad at my mom.
Yeah.
Madame.
Louis. Was that necessary?
Damn, look at them shades.
Move half a mile away. Don't come see your family for half a season. Don't come back, fragile son.
How long
I
it's
heard a
been?
knock on my door.
Guess so. Wow.
Half mile both ways, mama.
You said something horribly mean to him.
Look at his nails. He's getting his fingernails done. In the glass. Some fashion. Certain men like him do. Lord.
That sucked. I would not want to hear my mom's own thoughts.
And that was not I want sex or I'm hungry.
Our doc says I gotta wear them from now forward. Sensitive eyes.
I would boil it down to home in a way.
You see my alligator, man? See my lost it by the punch bowl.
I want more on their relationship. I like her.
Heartbeat. No.
No, she's pregnant. He hears too.
You making me an uncle out here?
Yeah.
Oh, I miss you, Louis.
Yeah.
You hearing me?
Not really.
Take them glasses off and look at your
Don't
baby
give me those
sister.
bags.
Your eyes.
Like a church window.
Same eyes, same me.
Whoa, what a line.
Different you. Better
Yes,
you,
your
I'd
eyes
say.
completely change color when you.
You hide from me this long again, I'll hunt you down and slap you sideways.
I got you something.
What is this? I don't need your money.
There's two of them.
This'll come in handy then. Levy ain't the businessman you are. How's it in the district? Must be good if this here's extra.
I notice his white suit has like a little bit of shades of green in it at his eyes. And the humans are usually plastered in white for innocence.
New business? New partner? No, sir, Mr. Carlo. I do the same thing myself.
You got your own personal Matani, do you, boy?
Oy.
These balconies have to be decorative only. Building codes allow those for residents, not for business.
Well, that's only if you call it a balcony.
What are you calling it?
Fire escape.
Huh. Clever.
Dozen rooms, proper acoustics for the musician. Good for those waiting. Best to drown out the business behind the wall.
How ominous this feels.
Well, you really do have a mind inside that head of yours, don't you?
Dude, you're
my
so
God.
patronizing, asshole.
I know some of the finishes seem petty heavy, but it's the Alderman's name going out there. So every detail has to shout exclusivity.
Yeah, bright and industrious, huh?
Oh my God.
I trust you overseeing all stages of construction as well?
Yes, sir.
Fire escape.
Crazy.
You suck.
Now, I must say, I had my doubts, but you really have earned your
Don't snap.
15%.
Don't snap, man.
You truly are an exceptional need.
Thank you, sir.
Going into the dark alley.
Oh no.
Exceptional Negro. Thank you, sir. It was the call and response of my entire life.
And now he doesn't have to live like that anymore.
Talk to me like that. So long, I stopped hearing it. Yes, sir. Of course, sir. Subject-verb agreement, sir.
But now with this new power.
They all came from the same organ inside me. An organ unknown to science at the time, because what scientist would look for an organ found only in black men who use their weakness to rise? I was something else. I have powers now.
Describe that as an organ.
It was both random and unfortunate the man picked that night to dabble in fuckery. If not him, would have been the next man.
Rip it off.
Louis, my boy!
Oh,
Where'd the urine go?
I know. You could have gotten pee on yourself. That would have been bad.
What would you think? Disrespecting me. How did he do that? Told me I did a good job.
You are a library of confusion.
White, Creole, French, queer, half queer, mostly queer. What is it?
Non-discriminating.
Half queer,
Complicated
mostly.
situation we got here is what I'm saying.
I love that we just put labels on things. That was great.
No, you need to show restraint, fledgling. Oh, you need to stop using that word right now, because it sounded a little like...
Exactly.
It's what it feels like sometimes.
And the carousel comes around again.
You.
It is interesting, though, because he is the least racist white man in the show.
It is interesting.
Like, he's many other things, but Lestat...
Like a couple sleeping in bed next to each other. It's so funny.
For the record, if disrespect was done to you, I would have killed him myself.
I've never seen something like this. This is so funny.
Is he not in there?
What can I do to make it up to you?
There you go.
I want to buy the Fair Play Saloon.
That's ambitious.
You don't want to help, I do it myself.
Green again.
Yeah, the constant corruption as his innocence keeps going away.
Ridiculous of you to mix human and vampire business. It always ends poorly. But how can I stop you? How can I say no to you?
Is that weird ADR?
It was a grand and loving gesture on Lestat's part.
That's a mighty tall ladder you're climbing, Mr. Dulac.
And I was now the owner of the brightest club in the district.
He the guy who was in trouble in the beginning of the first episode? Put it in that person's shit box, as they say.
From 1912 to 1917, I made a mountain of money. Enough to retire and be buried like a pharaoh.
But you didn't.
But in the essential duties of the executor in charge, I had been most delinquent.
We named him Benjamin.
Great way that they're showing the passing of time.
Did you even meet the twins?
Oh, ma'am.
I look that old to you.
No, I've been so busy with work and,
Him?
You know my situation.
Was she?
How are things with you and...
I think she just thinks that they're just like lovers.
Is the star still right?
Yes, it's Lestat.
But that's already enough to be like
taboo.
Got some gumbo on the stove still. Tasted great this evening. Let me fix you some.
I'm good.
Oh, your nephew.
This is comforting.
The other two, the twins, Lord help us.
So he hadn't even met the twins. So this is a third kid. So This is after the 5-year jump.
Gosh, it would be so much easier as a vampire to just eat babies, right?
No, I think not enough blood.
That is logical.
Logistics, yeah. Oh, no.
Oh, that sucks so much. You can't even be around a baby.
She's going to be like, yeah, they smells good, right?
All right, here it is. Still warm. Well,
Can he even eat food?
you look good.
No.
You should stay the night.
I don't know if he could hold it down.
I'm sure Mama would love to see it.
No, actually, Lestat came over for dinner before, and he ate.
Good point.
Okay, let me just see what the heck is going on.
Oh, no.
Oh, his baby's so scared.
You just got to control yourself. No. No way. There's no way.
I no longer kill. My last victim was in the year 2000.
Some Y2K disagreement?
I want our readers to understand that.
Daniel's funny.
Did you eat the baby?
I sit here, a master of my instincts.
Did you eat the baby?
There's no way, right?
2 questions.
Coming.
Did you eat the baby? And is the pandemic the opening they've been waiting for? And you know this how? You guys have a thread on 8chan?
I hear them.
8chan.
Our thoughts can travel thousands of miles to one another. Called it the Great Conversion.
Well, good luck with that, because most people I know like to play a little ball in the afternoon, or maybe going down to the beach, catching a few
there's more.
rays.
Maybe he's about to give blood.
Did you eat the baby?
Or the Arab youth whose family were wiped
Did you
from
eat the
existence
baby?
by a Western drone. No, I'm sure you're right. Hello, Damek.
Hey.
Human to feed on.
But he doesn't kill.
Tak. Ty nowy w Dubai. Раньше был?
He's American, Damek.
You like Dubai?
I haven't had the time to sightsee.
Go to Kite Beach. It's good.
Thank you, Damek. See you soon. As I was saying, I no longer kill.
You might have a drinking
no.
problem.
Woozy.
Rashid?
The baby.
No, obviously not. No, it's a bait and switch. He's fine.
Trippy.
Oh. Oh, he left the baby.
Must be the last time he ever saw them.
If you love your family, as I know you do, spare them all the pain that you are causing them.
Ain't never gonna have a family of my own, am I? No sons, no daughters.
I'm your family, Louis.
Oof.
Throw me in the incinerator and make another one.
What a waste of it. I have 2 centuries walked this earth and can report you have no twin. No one as angry,
It's kind of hot. It's horrible.
as maddening,
Sound like trash to me.
as loving, as dedicated, as thoughtful,
have no
as
twin.
imperfectly perfect as
Oh.
you've become.
Everyone wants to hear that.
You're a challenge every sunset, Saint Louis, and I'd have it no other way.
Here's an idea.
Let's take a holiday.
Hot psycho.
What about Rome?
Rome, Italy?
Would you prefer Rome, Wisconsin?
Would you prefer Rome, Wisconsin?
How you gonna get coffins across the Atlantic?
That can be an inconvenience, but not impossible, obviously.
Money, manipulation.
Imagine hunting between the Cafe Greco and the Spanish Steps. But you've made your point. Pity. We'll just have to settle for Rome coming to us.
Another opera.
Not another opera. Donizetti's comic masterpiece, Don Pasquale.
I almost stay my nephew, Lestat.
American debut, her 5th stop in a
He's like, you're not listening to me.
I have a private box, and I had tuxedos made.
Shit.
He wants to be mad.
Steadfast pupil deserves a divine reward.
He had a way about him those first years.
I love the themes of identity so much in this.
He was my murderer, my mentor, my lover, and my maker. He didn't choose me to be his doormat. I knew he enjoyed it when I fought back, but there was present.
The music.
The earth beneath me always felt liquid. The status I enjoyed in Storyville did not extend itself to the operators and patrons of the French Opera House on Bourbon and Toulouse.
Wow, look how fly they look.
We did what we always did to avoid conflicts there. I performed as his valet, walked a pace behind him.
Oh, that sucks. That sucks.
We found our seats, remained standing in the back of the box until the lights went down, and only joined next to him once the overture had begun.
It would make it not fun to go.
He had a way about him, so that as I sat there trying to practice restraint,
There's one thing about being a vampire that I most fear above all else, and that is loneliness. You take this feeling away from me, Louis. We must stay together and take precaution and never part.
I really feel like he means it.
But it's still manipulative.
Can't be the only ones.
How many vampires?
Depends on the point of view, I suppose.
Maybe 100.
Bullshit. No, there's got to be more than that.
101.
You're number one.
But he's keeping him from them all because he wants to keep him close.
The touring production of Don Pasquale was a cheap affair, but The Soprano was everything Lestat said she would be.
I've never been to the opera.
Me neither.
I don't know if I'd be wowed or bored.
I would certainly not be bored. I love that kind of thing.
And music. That was where Lestat separated man from food. Music pierced his damned soul.
You could touch his soul with art.
I was moved to see he too had his human attachments.
Note to self, if you're ever going to be killed by a vamp, start singing.
There was one issue, however, that threatened to pop the bubble of our Italian holiday.
Molto bella.
Tenor playing Ernesto. He did not live in the Sopranos' vocal stratosphere.
The poor actor who was cast thinking that he's great.
And Lestat was unamused.
Ruining it.
I understand they're a road company, but are they pulling talent from roadside gas station?
Oh, dude, you hate today's culture of influencers.
Every flat note gets blood.
I don't know. Sounds good to me.
Yeah, honestly, me too.
Oh, with his vampire ears, you could probably hear it even better.
It didn't help matters that the majority of the audience didn't seem to notice.
Yeah.
The curtain fell like a guillotine, and Lestat leapt to his feet in mock appreciation. Which could mean only one thing. The hunt was on. As rounds were bought and fake praise was lavished upon the mark, and I was surprised by a wave of nausea coming over me.
It sounds like a novel.
It was no different than the tractor salesman. This poor soul was someone's son, someone's brother, and he was to be butchered for what?
Having a bad voice.
An offending note.
Yeah.
When you have that kind of power, you can be that dismissive of people. You know? An animal that needs to be put down for not being strong enough.
He sat the tenor down, opened up the score in front of him, and sang as it was written. And you could see all the doubts the young man had about his art, about himself, exposed on his nodding, agreeable face.
This is so cruel.
I know, it's so mean, man. Getting a weird kick out of it.
Ecco.
Like, just kill him then.
Sto tarando prematuramente il nostro povero Domenico Gaetano Mari. E come faccio io a sapere tutto ciò? Ero nel suo serato quando l'ha scritto.
I was in the parlor when he wrote it. His crazy line.
Why do you do this, Lestat?
Well, I like to do it. I enjoy it.
Well, I don't. Well, I don't say that you have to enjoy it. Kill them swiftly if you have to, but do it. Embrace what you are. You are a killer, Louis.
Oh, he doesn't like being shamed.
Boy.
Come now, love. Let's get you to the couch to die.
I was in denial.
Oh, good wire work.
Lestat was an artist. He had cut the man tenderly so that he could not call for help.
That is so fucked up.
But also so that his death was slow.
Oh, my God.
Oh, my God.
And I felt the charge witnessing it.
Do this to humans all the time. Just not animals. I'm okay.
As Lestat drank, and this time they came with vision.
What are the thoughts?
Scenes from an Italian childhood, the Easter pageant in a mountain village, an afternoon with his father on the sea.
This poor guy.
I can't believe his restraint to not suck his blood.
His emotions are overriding.
Watching the fishing boats slowly encircle a school of tuna. Something about a wet piece of bread in his pocket.
What bread?
If you finally submit to your nature, with all the life you can hold, you will see death in all its beauty.
Oui.
Life as it is only known at the very point of death. You alone of all creatures can see death with that impunity. You alone, under the rising moon, can strike like the hand of God.
He had a way about him.
He's pretty hot.
And I was still very much under his power. We would drain the tenor for hours that night.
I wonder what the bread in the pocket was.
Sound like a guy immigrating over here.
I just think there's more to that.
Lestat, completely enthralled, myself pretending to be afraid to disappoint.
Oh my God, look at their foreheads touching.
What a crazy shot.
I was never going to be a natural. I was a shame-ridden second, a fumbling, despondent killer, botched vampire.
Oh no, is he making a point to Daniel?
Maybe because we know Daniel's neck was bit.
I try to have a human dish once a week to maintain the thread. There was an offhanded remark in your memoir about this dessert. I hope you don't mind.
That is like grasping at his humanity.
This is the dessert I had after I proposed to my first wife. We were in Paris, little cafe on the Rue Servandoni, up the way from Saint-Sulpice.
I know it. It's a beautiful street.
Alice, half of her eyebrow was blonde, like a mutt. She always dyed it back to brown. I liked it when she left it alone.
The food evokes memories. Can't imagine like every human you taste when you can actually physically see memories of them
Stopped
too.
recording just now. He shared about his life and he closed the computer.
It's not about him. It's too personal.
Yeah, but remember, Louis wanted to know more about him. And
God,
he was
that
like, no.
framing. So beautiful. It was what? It's over? Oh, I didn't think it was going to end.
All good things got to come to an end.
Yeah, we won't watch this for another 2 years. Reject gang, I have been thinking an awful lot lately about what does health truly mean for me. I don't just mean aesthetically, because last year I made this whole big ordeal about like dropping 50 pounds because I just wanted to try to get those photos for the first time ever in my life. I did it. Then afterwards I was like, well, I kind of want to go back to eating whatever the heck I want, which has led to a lot of ups and downs in my journey. And now I'm at this point where, well, I'm realizing I kind of need sustainable energy and I am older now. So what is like ways to maintain being healthy without going all crazy about it? And so I've gotten back onto some healthy foods that I love to enjoy, because that's part of the key. And a big part of that has been HUEL, baby. And I'm specifically wanted to shout out this flavor right here because we got a bunch of HUEL products at the office. And the one that the team tends to gravitate towards, I'm talking many of the hosts, is specifically this delicious chocolate peanut butter flavor. HUEL didn't ask me to specifically shout this out. I'm just doing it because it is truly an amazing addition. So incorporating something like HUEL back into my routine along with something like this every day, the daily greens, has been a massive improvement on my life already at the beginning of this year. Like proper nutrition without crazy dieting is just so crucial, and HUEL I feel like is a great ingredient for that. So with me here, I keep our variety pack. I often rotate between things like the HUEL ready to drink and the Black Edition powder. This one truly is rich, filling, tasty chocolate peanut butter, man. It's just like my favorite. And I'm allergic to dairy. Thankfully, it is plant-based, created by registered nutritionists. It's affordable per serving, and it removes decision fatigue when my stress is already pretty high, because I tend to operate like that by default. So if you want something consistent without overthinking it, you can check out HUEL using the link and QR code on screen. You can use my code REJECTS for 15% off orders over $50. New customers only, minimum spend required. And yes, is this an ad? Absolutely. However, it is something I decided to go back to before they ever partner back up with us. So thank you, HUEL, for being a part of my life in more ways than one. If you followed us at our Patreon after the last video, that means the world to Roxy especially. Thank you so much for doing that. That's very kind of you. That's where you get the full reaction watch along where you sync it with your own copy. We are watching this off AMC Plus. Nice t-shirt.
RejectNationShop.com, thanks.
Booyah. And also, these coasters we do not sell, but they're cool.
Holy crap, you were playing with them the entire time.
I was thinking
You
to
were like
myself,
this the
I
whole
want
time.
I was like, I want cards. I know. You and your OCD analness.
I was like,
this is probably annoying Roxy so much. She's probably annoying and she's just not saying anything.
the whole time.
And while I was doing it, I was like, she's probably frustrated and she doesn't want to say anything.
Watching a show and just hearing
I know.
and looking.
I love that. I knew you were probably bothered. I just like, well, until she says something, I'm not going to stop.
Cool.
Hey. So what'd you think, Roxy? What'd you think of the show?
Yeah, I'm really into the show. I think the first episode I had said I wanted more of him and Daniel, and we got that more. It was more of a device in this one. I stand by what I felt last time, where like this is clearly such a toxic relationship. Super hot, super toxic, makes you question the things that you're into. I am really curious about his relationship with his family. I know that's something that you were really harping on last time. You know, you're going to outlive all your loved ones. Mm-hmm. And we think about that from Louis' perspective, but thinking about that from his family's perspective, as Lestat said, it's kind of interesting, like to save them the hardship. Because ultimately, eventually, they are going to be afraid of him, and not just afraid of him, but have questions for him. Why are your eyes like that? Why aren't you aging? Why do we only see you at nighttime? And yeah, why'd you put your nephew down and just leave? So I think that's interesting too. And I already was struggling with the mom, but the sister I really like. So yeah, I'm definitely. I wish that I kind of want to binge this all in a day. Like I want to watch another episode immediately. How are you feeling?
I feel like it's really good, man. I want to see a little bit more because right now we're getting this from the interview perspective of. I wasn't that obnoxious, but I get it. You have to play tops. You're making your point. Point made. Keep it going.
Thank you guys. Sorry, man.
You're seeing it from that perspective, and part of me is there's so much questions about memory that they pose a lot here. So I'm wondering that only because thematically so much of it is about memory, how much of this is possibly like somewhat thwarted, maybe not even intentionally, from Louis' perspective, just in the fact of you remember things in your own way.
Yeah,
you know?
I think that's super fair. I was kind of curious too because we know that this is not the first time that Daniel has interviewed Louis.
Mm-hmm.
Is there perhaps a time in which Daniel has interviewed Lestat? And what did that look like? And what was Lestat's recollection of the same events / Lestat prior to meeting Louis, who says, I've been doing this for 2 centuries and you have no twin. Yeah, but who else did you meet and how did you get here? So I also have been thinking about perspective and history as you have. I'm curious.
Yeah, because the story's so much about identity. And when you pull back that veil that Lestat can read Louis' thoughts, and in some ways Lestat might be able to see. So there's like 2 ways to go about it. One, he's like, it could be one of 2 ways, or it could be a hybrid of both, where it could be just something where he's manipulating, or he sees what Louis is really like.
Well, he can't now that he's a vampire.
I know, but before that, when the conversion happened, to be able to really see it and see that this lifestyle might be the one that he actually truly would prefer and desire in some ways. Granted, not his choice. Maybe he manipulated the choice, or maybe it's a hybrid of both in some way. And that's why I'm loving the concept of exploring of memory. And of course, like him figuring out his identity, of course, of like vampire, homosexuality, but then the idea of vampirism meets humanity, and what really is the difference here when if human beings are really just part of the animal kingdom, if you really think of it like that human beings are really just part of the animal kingdom, and the thing that separated us is consciousness and the ability to make tools, and with that being part of our evolution. And what we do here and how we treat animals, and it's like, well, vampires are just another form or perhaps another evolution of humanity. So when they go about killing human beings, is it really so different than the way how human beings really live their own lives in their own way?
Yeah, I agree with that. It was interesting to have this episode be a 7-course meal that's gradually easing us into the eating of a live human, because where is your line? And your line, Greg, is different than my line as a person who is vegetarian bordering on vegan, and as a person who's an extreme carnivore. When we first see Louis, he is drinking blood from a cup. Okay. I don't think you flinched. I didn't really flinch. When we get to him killing a bunny, you're feeling really sick.
Oh, that was like a fox.
Or fox, whatever it was.
I don't know what that was.
I'm still feeling okay because as a carnivore, I know that's what it is. When I'm eating whatever I'm eating, that's how we're doing it.
But there's a lot of carnivores
who wouldn't feel that way.
There's a lot of carnivores who watch animals die, and they're like, oh, I don't want to watch it, but they eat it.
Right,
yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
Like it's not my preference to watch anything be murdered. That's the life that I've chosen. However, we get to the last, and there's a live human who he is eating, granted not killing, but eating, who then passes out. And I think that's a line for everybody, right? Like, no, but I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't do that. So throughout the 7 courses, and then we bring it back to dessert. But for Louis, that dessert's like paste like chalk.
Yeah.
So I think that was a cool way of kind of exactly what you're saying. What is your line? And is it that crazy that the next level of evolution, if you live forever, would be vampires, which are above humans on the food chain, eating humans?
Yeah. And then when you are a vampire, like Louis, granted, like there's no such thing as like, not that there's no such thing, but psychology or whatever the fuck wasn't as prevalent at a time like this. So when Lestat is trying to push Louis more into think like a vampire, view things like a vampire in kind of a way that's unusually haste. Like we can sit here and be like, come on, man, it's been like a day. Give him a break. Like he's going to take some time to readjust in his lifestyle. But I love the friction that comes from that, how they start immediately forming into a couple, but are they also, a lot of times what they're fighting about is really the subtext of what they're feeling about each other underneath and how they can probe at each other's insecurities. Like when, at the very end, when Louis does lash out at him for how he goes about eating a human, and Lestat clearly was triggered by the judgment that he was receiving in that way. So the way they're fleshing out the relationship, I feel like is very, very well done. It's really compelling. Everything about this is compelling. Like I like the first episode a lot. That was great. I like the second episode even more.
I would have. I have a note for the second episode.
Yes, let's see if they can make it.
I wish that when they were gonna get in the coffin together, we saw that.
Just like him face down, looking at him.
Yeah, or something. Just the first episode was a little sexier to me, and this show's been pitched as very sex heavy to me. And I was looking forward to that. In the first episode, the ending, we saw that. And then this one, we don't get as much of that. We get the forehead to forehead action while they're sharing a neck. But bring on the heat.
Well, it depends, right? Like a lot of the times in life when it is like sexual and sexy in the beginning, then we get to the reality and we're spanning time here. What happens when you start, that lust starts to not be as predominant, you know, but then you see lust and sexiness come out in different ways, like the intimacy when he's like, there's no twin, you know, things like that.
Yeah, but I'm just saying I wanted more physical.
I get you.
As a viewer.
I understand. There's
like
there's
an OTPHJ at the opera.
I don't know what that means.
Or with pants hand job. OTPHJ.
Got it.
Something like that. Like, just come on.
My wife doesn't touch me, so I don't know what you're talking about. We got some questions from our patrons.
Okay,
We got a meeting to go to.
Let's go.
We got some funny ones. Fun ones. They're all fun questions. Malik, such a vampire name. Roxanne, why don't you read it?
In this episode, Louis is trying to navigate his new life as a vampire and struggling to stay connected to his human life. If you were in his position, do you think that you would be able to give yourself a clean break from your past life, or would you try to fight as hard as you can to preserve it?
Oh my God, that would be so hard. Relationships are everything in life. You know, how hard would you be able to just let it all go? No, I don't know if I could.
No, but I do think I would attempt to turn more people.
You? Yeah, I could definitely see you doing that.
Like, I think I'd have an honest call. I'd sit down with my sister and be like, this is what happened. I got turned. Can I turn you? Because I don't want to live life without this. So, like, and I think she'd probably let me in. I would say the same thing to my brother, same thing to his wife. But the problem is the babies, right? Like, you got to wait till you don't want a baby to be a baby forever.
Yeah, that'd be annoying.
Yeah, I think most of my family would let me.
But if you turn a baby, would it like eventually develop some type of consciousness that would be able to? Like,
I don't know.
Right? Things that you don't think about. That's the movie we need to make: baby vampires.
I don't think it has the physical capability of that. I don't know though.
I don't know either.
Like if you turn a kid, then yes, but I don't know about a baby.
Well,
because there's things like they can't see more than a foot in front of them and stuff like this. I don't know that they can.
That's true. Well, to this question.
Mm-hmm.
This show argues a lot about, you know, what is a soul? And that was one of the more compelling parts. Because if I was in this position, I think I would 100% be struggling with that.
For sure.
We watch I watched all of Pluribus, which is great if you guys haven't seen it. And someone brought up the question again to me, like, if you were living in Pluribus, which would you be? And at first I was like, I'd just be the guy having fun taking advantage of all the people. And then I was like, but I'd want my wife back. I would want my friends back. Then I feel like I would have to try to save the world because of the people I care about. So I think of something similar with this, you know, it would be hard to like move on knowing that I would probably just go more distant from people, or I'd separate myself. I think I would eventually just abandon.
You would?
Yeah, I don't know if I could maintain the relate. I feel too guilty about it It would be hard.
Do what I do. Turn them all.
I would at the last minute when they're too old. They can't make a choice.
What's up with Care Bear, dude?
Let's find out. Care Bear. Hi, Roxy and Greg. Or as we call ourselves, Roxegery. Since the 80s, Anne Rice's work has been banned from multiple schools and libraries, even shelved in restriction sections of bookstores. Q. Why do you think stories like EWAV or OTWHJ
OTPHJ. I can't believe you don't never use that one.
provoked such a reaction? Would you want Rice included at your local store library? Yeah, every time I go to Ralph's, I just want to see Interview with a Vampire. I think it did because of all the homosexual undertones, and it's very much a world of demonization in Christian world, as the show visually represents. And we live in a world full of a lot of Christianity, and they don't like that kind of thing. And homosexuality has also been a taboo topic for a lot of people in this world. So it makes sense why back then it was tougher and why they definitely do that. We don't want to influence the youth. What do you think?
I haven't read the books, so I don't know Anne Rice's work and what she wrote about. But if I'm just taking it as if this movie was in book form, I think you have to be an effing idiot to think that this should be restricted or banned. Like, okay, fine, maybe not in elementary schools. Why? Because that's not the kind of book that you read in elementary school. But like in high schools, to be like, you can't read this book. It's like, are you dumbass? I'm so annoyed with the prude nature of our society. There's so many more graphic books than this. Is just because there's queer, I wouldn't even say undertones, overtones. Yeah, I just think banning books is not the answer. It's just so dumb. It's not. This is not being sold as nonfiction. They're not saying like, yeah, this is the kind of relationship you should get in, kids. Let somebody suck your blood and see what happens. Like, are you an idiot? If you can sell Harry Potter, why can't you sell this?
Well, in the hardest of hardcore Christian Catholic kind of groups, they would call that satanic Harry Potter. So I can.
Yeah, but we don't live in a goddamn Christian nation. I'm tired of it. Like, it's so crazy. Separation of church and state where?
Yeah, that's like more of a line that's said as we're seeing what's happening.
Right. Of course. There's no separation. Yeah, of course.
We're one nation under God. You know how it goes.
Indivisible. Yes, we are. Liberty and justice. ... For all? Question mark.
I think this crowd can handle what we're saying.
Me too. I can't imagine you're a fan of this show and you feel differently than us, but perhaps let us know. Jay Rushton in the house. Question: if you were a vampire, what reject would be your servant protecting you while in your coffin?
John. I think John would really he'd stay up all night. He'd help. Would he be able to fight people off? Probably not. But he would at least wake me up. Be like, hey, there's trouble.
I feel like the answer's Andrew.
True.
Andrew would not move. If you were like, I need you here to protect me, Andrew would be like, I am on top of it. And then he would not move.
That's true. It's either Andrew or John. Andrew's probably a better bet. Coy is more physically the strongest, but I think Coy would be impatient and convince me why he shouldn't be there.
You know what's best for you, Greg? If I actually go home and sleep. I actually think that a lot of people would be very good at this. Tara would not be good at this.
No.
Tara would go to bed, and Coy would not be good at this. Coy would not want to be there.
Coy would not want to be there.
No.
Aaron would fall asleep.
Yeah. You would do a good job, but you would complain a lot about it, and I actually think I would do the exact same thing. I think we would both get the job done, and then we would talk about it every day for the rest of the other person's life.
Yeah.
Remember that time that I protected you?
I'd be guilt tripping the shit out of you.
Remember?
It's very true. Well, thanks for the fun questions, guys. Interview with the Vampire, episode 2, down.
Oh, we didn't even mention Aaron.
Yeah, I did. And I said he'd fall asleep.
Oh, oh yeah.
No one's
that's
falling
his-
asleep
yeah.
here more than Aaron.
Yeah, he does. He'd be going to sleep.
Or and he goes to the bathroom for a long time.
He
too.
goes for so long in the
can't-
middle of shoots.
Yeah. It's like, oh man, you can't
can't
trust
do
that.
that.
You need a good security guard.
Gone for like 40 minutes sometimes.
Times he's gone for a very long time.
And then he comes back and he's like, "You ready?" And I'm
Yeah,
like,
like,
I've
what
been
the-
ready.
Waiting for you. Yeah.
Anyway.
Anyway, that's what it's like here. We'll see you guys soon. Rechecks. Peace.